All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to tackle something that looks kind of tricky at first, dividing complex numbers. But I promise, by the end of this, you'll have this super clever tool that makes it all make sense. So here's the whole deal. In math, there's this big rule. You just can't leave I, that's our imaginary unit, in the denominator of a fraction. You know, it's kind of like leaving a fraction as 2/4 instead of 1/2. It's just not considered finished. And that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If we've got an I stuck down there, how on earth do we make it disappear without, breaking any math laws?
Yeah, this no I rule is the main hurdle we've got to clear. But like any good puzzle, there's a really elegant solution just waiting for us.
And here it is. We're going to use this special tool. Think of it as a mathematical eraser that's designed for this one specific job. It's called the conjugate. So let's get to know this so-called complex eraser. We're going to see what it is, and more importantly, how it works its magic. The best part is, it's actually incredibly simple. To find the conjugate of any complex number, you just take the exact same number and you flip the sign in the middle. That's it. So for example, if we have the complex number 3 minus 4i, its conjugate is just 3 plus 4i. See? The 3 and the 4i stay the same, only that minus sign in the middle flips to a plus. Okay, so who cares about flipping a sign? Well, this is where the magic happens. Get ready for the vanishing I trick. Let's actually put it to the test. What happens when we take our original number, 3 minus 4i, and we multiply it by the conjugate we just found, 3 plus 4i? When we multiply this out, just watch what happens with the middle terms. We get a plus 12i and a minus 12i. They're literally designed to be perfect opposites, so poof, they just cancel each other out completely. That's the whole point. So after those middle terms vanish and we simplify the rest, what are we left with? A single, clean, real number. In this case, it's 25. The imaginary I part is completely gone. That is the trick. Okay, theory is cool and all, but let's put our new tool to work on a real problem. We're going to walk through an actual division, step by step. Here's our problem for today. We need to solve 5 minus 8i divided by 3 minus 4i. And you can see it right there, can't you? That illegal I just sitting in the denominator, mocking us. So here's our game plan. It's a simple 5-step process. First, find the conjugate of the bottom. Second, multiply both the top and the bottom by it. Then, we simplify the bottom, simplify the top, and finally, write out our answer. Let's do it. First up, the denominator. We multiply it by its conjugate. But hang on a second. We've literally just done this exact problem. We already know this trick. The i's are going to disappear, and we're left with a nice solid 25. Step 1 done.
All right, now for the top part, the numerator. We have to multiply it by that same conjugate, 3 plus 4i. We'll just use the good old FOIL method. First, outer, inner, last. That gives us 15 plus 20i minus 24i and minus 32i squared. Yeah, it looks a little messy right now, but trust me, the next step cleans it all up.
And to clean it up, we need to remember the single most important rule of imaginary numbers. This is the key that unlocks the whole thing. I squared isn't just a letter, it's a number. I squared is equal to -1. Never forget that. So watch this. Since I squared is -1, our term -32i squared becomes -32 times -1, which flips it to a positive 32. Now we can just combine our regular numbers. 15 plus 32 gives us 47, and our imaginary numbers, plus 20i minus 24i, is -4i. And just like that, our messy numerator is a tidy 47 minus 4i. Now we just put the pieces back together. We take our simplified numerator, 47 minus 4i, and we put it over our simplified denominator, 25. And would you look at that? No more I on the bottom. Mission accomplished. We are basically done, but to really master this, we have to present the answer in its final standard form, and then we'll quickly go over the key things to remember. So the standard way to write a complex number is in that a plus bi format. All we have to do is split our fraction into two pieces, the real part, which is 47 over 25, and the imaginary part, which is -4 over 25 times I. And that is our final perfectly simplified answer. Okay, so let's do a super quick recap of the 3 most important rules.
1. Your magic eraser is always the conjugate of the denominator, the bottom part. 2. You have to multiply both the top and the bottom by it to keep everything fair and balanced. And 3. The absolute secret ingredient. Always remember that I squared equals -1.
And that's really all there is to it. You've just seen that a seemingly strict math rule is really just an invitation to use a clever trick. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other rules in math are just waiting for you to discover the elegant little trick that makes them simple?